guys, it's Chris Fate with Cheat the Game. Today we got Mafia 3. I've been wanting to do one on Mafia 3 for some time now. My good pal Sneaky Mofo, great game hacker, has his channel going. He's doing a Let's Hack series on Mafia 3. So he's got a ton of cheats out for it and shows you how to get infinite health and all the way to getting other values as well to get you some good cheats going for Mafia 3. So I didn't really want to step into his territory in regards to that. So I was kind of just holding back a little bit, seeing what he's going to come out with, just so I wouldn't, you know, do something that he's already done. And he always says, Chris, don't worry about it, man. Just make your vids, man. They're great. Just go ahead and make. But he's cool that way. So, but I still don't want to do that. You know, I kind of want to do something different than what he's showing people how to do, because I like my channel to be a gateway to his, because he is truly a mentor of mine, and his channel is just chock full of good information, just a treasure trove of knowledge over there. And I'll link you down there in the description to Sneaky Mofo. So I do thank you, pal, very much. And let me close some of this stuff down. I had to disconnect from the net because we're going to be pulling a lot of RAM with this game. But today we are going to try to find stealth. And what it is, I'm not really going to do any back tracing or anything like that to go deeper to the sources. All I'm going to do is like I did for a previous vid I done, and I'll link that one up here in the upper right hand corner, where we tried to find stealth for the game Thief. And I showed you, and basically it was a lesson on back tracing. So I'll put that up there. You can go take a look at it. So all the basically the same type things we're doing from that vid, we're going to be doing in this one, just to find the sight cameras, so the cameras never see us. We're basically going to turn their vision completely off. Okay, we're back. I know it was only about a second for you guys, but it's actually about 4 hours later. This is about my 7th take, I believe. And if we don't get it this time, I'm going to chunk my computer out the damn window. Alright. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to start all over again from scratch. We're at the location where we go to the Haitian out camp. I think this is probably one of the better spots to find it at. Now, like I showed in the Thief Stealth video, and I gave a more in-depth description, so I'm not going to really get into it here, but just briefly, each character has a camera that's in their head, and basically it's panning for you. Now, the reason that this particular game is so elusive to find that value is you actually have to have that camera sight activated before it even assigns it an address, as far as scanning for you, that is, or seeing you. So you also have to be careful in the fact that if it sees you and it starts out with that searching bar, and if it goes back down to 0 and that searching bar goes away and they just go back to doing what they're doing, then that address is changed on you. You have to start all over again. So you will need an infinite health script to even find this value. You can probably find it without it, but highly unlikely. You're probably just going to get killed before you actually find it. So, and that's knowing what the values are. So I'm going to have my cheat table link down in the description. You're more than welcome to use it. I can't guarantee it works for every single version, but if it doesn't, you can go in there and see what I've done to kind of help guide you and everything. You can also change these right here to point to the name of the bytes if you have a different version, and it'll just point directly to the bytes instead of the module, and that'll help with another version perhaps. So you might want to give that a try. But we're going to go ahead. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and take 2 of these guys out of play, and that way I only have one sight camera to worry about right now, and I ain't got to worry about the other 2 getting up my butt while I'm trying to do it. So let's go ahead and get those 2 out of the way, and we'll just concentrate on one camera. I'm going to turn my God mode on right now, and infinite ammo just in case some others show up, and we'll go ahead and get started. Now, also, I did have to cut down a lot of the bells and whistles on the game, like ambient occlusion, bloom, anything that can put a more work on the computer, you want to kind of take off there. I'm also offline. I recommend that. That just helps the scanning process when you have to do unknown value searches. Just throw him in the water there. And we can't leave till we watch the gator eat him. Yeah, I got a morbid sense of humor. Alright, I want him to... this guy here that's smoking the cigarette, we're going to use his sight camera, so I'm going to take that guy out up there that's circling the boat. And that's all he does, just go around and around the boat. So we're going to sneak up behind him. We're going to go by this guy, he won't see us. And I'm going to kind of wait till he gets behind the boat. There we go. Alright, so here's where I made my mistake recently. Well, you know, in the past also, when I was first searching for the value, is I would go ahead and do a search now, and that was a mistake because the sight camera has not been assigned an address yet. I didn't realize that at the time. It was always so elusive to me. And also, when you do get the sight value going, if you ever lose it, it goes back down to 0 and he stops searching, boom, that address is changed on you. So you got to keep that sight camera activated the entire time, or you're going to have to start over again. And when you don't know what value type it is, and you don't know if it's going from a low value to a high value, or a high value to a low value, this can get very frustrating very quickly. And even I know what the values are and the value type, and it's still giving me a hard time. So if it does start to frustrate you, just turn the game off for a little while, turn Cheat Engine off, and just go do something else for a while, and then maybe come back to it later. Stick with it, you will eventually find it. But I'm going to show you an easy way to find it, and we're going to find it now, and then I'm going to show you how to go ahead and get the script wrote for it. So let's go ahead and get on over where these barrels are, and we're going to start activating his sight camera. And we're going to Alt-Tab out of it kind of quickly so we can start scanning for the value. Okay, you see that little bar that just appeared right there? It's got that little point in the middle. That's the sight bar. We've activated the sight camera so we can go ahead and begin our searches. And to save you a bunch of time, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you it's a float value. And it cycles between 0 all the way up to 100. 100, he fully sees you, fully aware of you. If he loses sight of you, you will not see that bar go down in any way, form, or fashion. If you're hiding behind a barrel and he's still shooting at you in combat mode, believe me, he cannot see you anymore, and that'll throw you off. So you got to keep that in mind. So only put in 100 when you know he can actually see you. Don't do any searches behind a barrel unless you're doing decreased value and know for a fact that he cannot see you. So be careful of that, or you're going to lose the address. This is very easy to lose. It's very frustrating, so stick with me on it. So we're going to let the bar go up just a little bit. Oh wait, let's do the first scan right quick. Unknown initial value, first scan. And look at this on a float value. It's over 1 billion addresses. Now, if I was to do all unknown value search, it's over 4 billion. That's a lot. That's why I say you may want to take some of your bells and whistles off, take the graphics down just a little bit, just kind of take the load off your computer, go offline. As much of the load that you can take off your computer as possible, the more smoothly these scans will go for you and the quicker they'll go for you. So any little thing like that you can do will help you find these things quicker, especially in 64-bit games. Okay, so let's let that bar go up a little bit. Let's see if we can just Alt-Tab in and Alt-Tab right back out. Oops, my bad. That's the camera, Chris. Let's go back to Cheat Engine. Let me put that out of the way, and let's go over to the game. Alright, it's gone up. So we're going to hit increase value. And while it's doing its preliminary scan, and then it'll start its scan, I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I'll be right back after the scan is completed. Okay, and scan didn't take that long at all, actually. It only took about 30 seconds, but I'm going to try to cut some time out of here as much as possible. And I think we can go ahead and we only got 22 million left. I'm going to do a couple of unchanged games. I'm using my hotkeys to do this, by the way. So you can set hotkeys up in edit and settings hotkeys. And you can just set these different things to a hotkey, and that'll kind of help you out in situations like this. I want to alt tab back to the game and then alt tab back out of it. It went up a little bit more, so we're going to go increase value down about 800 and something. Just see if we can weed some out. Like I say, you want to have your infinite health on. Let's go ahead and... Alright, I think it's all the way up, so I'm just going to let it go all the way into combat where he can fully see me. That should be 100. But I'm not going to put in 100 because I don't trust it. I don't want to have to do another take, so I'm just going to go the long route. Alright, back to the game. Alright, you see now where I'm behind this barrel? He actually cannot see me now, so that meter is going back down. But you'll never know it by looking in the game because you ain't got no indicators telling you it's going back down. And this is where you can make a mistake here as well. So it's best just to let it go back down to 0. And you'll see that when it goes to searching. You see the combat right now? It actually should be back down to 0 by now. Alright, so we're going to go decrease value down to 101,000. And actually, I think I'm going to do the 0 search. I think I'm good with it. Didn't really weed too much out of this being a float, but I could put it on simple values only, but I don't want to do that because it is decimal based. There are a lot of decimals behind it, or decimal places behind it. So let's get out where he can see us again.
This is getting goddamn ridiculous. I'll put one in his ear.
Right there. I'm going to go ahead and put that on 100. I know it's 100. Oh, I hope I didn't miss it. I hope that's it. Let's put that on 0 and take a look. We won't know yet. I think that's it.
Cat must have fucking got some sense.
We're gonna find out. Okay, you see that? You see that bar? It's kind of, it's wanting to go up, but it can't. That we found her. Yes. So before I continue on, please let me go ahead and save this. I'll be right back with you. I do not want to do this again, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, good. We got her. Alright, so what we want to do now, we want to go ahead and we want to place break on right. Find out what writes to this address. Click OK. Alrighty. Let's bring that over here out of the way. Let's go back to the game. Alright, and you see here, let's take a look. We got two different opcodes writing to it, but I can tell you this one up here is the one we can knock out, because what is affected up here is going to be affected down here. So we can go to this one on top. The XMM8 registry is carrying the new value as it goes up or down into the RDI registry, which is pointing at the pointer offset of 18. So let's go and show that in the disassembler. And you can do this so many ways. What I like to do is I like to put a break on this, and just so I can take a look at what's going on in the XMM registries and see if I can replace that one with one that is carrying a 0 at this current time. So let's do that. Let's toggle a breakpoint. Get back to the game. It should start right away. Alright, and all we have to do over here, okay, let's take a look, see what's going on with it. We see 8mm8, XMM8 is trying to write 732 in there, but we have it also blocked over here, and Cheat Engine in turn is writing 0 back to it. So they're kind of fighting each other right now. So, but that's okay. And actually, we can turn the Cheat Engine one off. We don't need him to do that anymore. We just want to make sure, but I would say just replace this with code that does nothing, just mop them all out, but I ain't gonna do that. I think XMM13 is what I used for my previous script with it, so I'm going to go ahead and use that again. I think that's a good one. And what that's going to do is we're going to replace the XMM8 with the XMM13, and instead of just writing the value that this is carrying, the XMM13 is just going to keep writing 0 to it. So he's never seeing this as long as that's activated. So let's go ahead and untoggle the breakpoint, go to debug and toggle breakpoint, or you can F5 it hotkey. And we also got to go to run the program again, or you can F9 hotkey. So now it's running. I'm going to leave it paused right now, and let's do an auto assemble script. We'll do an AOB injection at that address. And I'm just going to label that. Now, I've already got one script labeled stealth1, so I'm going to label this stealth2 just so I don't confuse anything. But you can name it whatever you want. And what I'd like to do is take out this address. This is the module address. I'm going to take that out and replace it with the name of the AOB instead. That way, if they're in the updates, instead of pointing to the module address, I'm just having it point directly to the array of bytes. So if it does update, as long as that update contains these same array of bytes, it should still find it. So the module address will probably change in an update. So I'm going to assign that to the. Oh wait, I ain't modified my script. Now, before we normally do this, you want to find out what addresses accesses this instruction accesses. It's also called a breakpoint on access. But I've already done all that, and all it's going to be is everybody's site camera. We want all their site cameras writing 0. So I'm not going to go through that step, but normally that's what you want to do before you'd ever turn this script on, or you could crash your game if there's just a lot of other things bouncing off that code. But I can assure you right now it's just the site cameras. So we're going to assign that to the current cheat table. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. Make sure I've got that changed to 13. The 13 is XMM13 is carrying the 0, so it's just going to continuously write 0 to that address. So that's why we didn't need this anymore. I'm going to label that site stealth test right now. And then when we confirm that it does work, then we can just rename it stealth, or just site stealth, or whatever. So let's go ahead and actually turn that on and see what happens. Look at this.
Got your ass now.
He still can't see. However, he can still sense when we touch him, and he can probably still hear us.
This is getting goddamn ridiculous.
Well, maybe he can't hear us. So maybe that's for audible also.
What?
So let's turn it off. Test it again.
I know what I want to bury. Got nowhere to go. Got you.
Still got our God mode on, so we're good on that. Let's turn it back on and see what happens.
Slippery.
See? We just negated his sight camera. We didn't move or nothing. And he lost sight of us. So that gives you a start on stealth. And you can go on your own and trace it back to sources. Also, STN did mention the fact that there are flags in here that you could possibly find. That makes even the searching go away, and they just go back to doing what they're doing. So, but you can find that. You know, at least I can get you started. You got stealth. You can go through. They cannot see you. And I'll show you.
Until we find you, bro.
We can get rid of him now. Let him.
You wanna kill one of your own?
And they can't see us for nothing. Look at this. I can just run through this camp. Let me turn on my infinite stamina so I don't give out of breath here. Look at this. Right in the middle of them too.
We ain't going easy on you, Freddy.
Do not stop until he's found.
No excuses! Tear this place apart!
They just shooting out in the wind. They can't see me at all. So look at this. Look.
Thank Christ he's gone. He was right over there. Go, look. Huh?
So that's pretty much it. I just want to throw a couple of shout outs. I would not have been able to do this. This value has been so elusive, and you hit the wrong value, the game crashes down on you, cheat engine crashes down, you got to start all over again. Being a 64-bit game, there's just billions of addresses you have to sift through, so it's really difficult, can get really frustrating. But a couple of friends did guide me to help me get this value, and I want to give them a quick shout out. First off, I want to shout out STN over at the Cheat Engine website. He has some Mafia 3 cheats out, has this great trainer series that he and a bunch of devs got together, and they just got bukus of games on. It's called the Infinity Trainer. I will link that also down there in the description. It is truly an awesome tool for all kind of games. Some of the more mainstream games, some of the bigger games, they have just got all types of cheats. So go check that out. It's free. It's absolutely free. You can download it for free and sign up to get it running, and they just got some great cheats. Awesome bunch of game hackers. So great work on that, and I want to thank you for helping me find that value on stealth, because it was so very elusive. So thank you, pal. I appreciate it. I also want to thank a friend of mine over at the CTG Facebook channel. Got a bunch of great game hackers that hang out here. They're awesome. And by HDC went into the game, and he decided to go about it a different route and looked it up via a string value. And he was able to help me pinpoint to what value type to search it on, because I tell you, I was just at a loss. And without these two guys helping me out here, I'd probably still be looking for it right now. So, so I thank you both guys. I really appreciate all the help. So I hope this helped you out. Now, I will have my codes down in the description. Now, they have not been tested throughout the whole game. So, you know, take it like that. It's just a table for right now. So once I complete the entire game, also I want to mention infinite electronic nodes. More than likely, they're not going to continuously work throughout the whole game. That has been a major pain in the butt for just about every game hacker in this game. So take it like it is, but it does work at the beginning. I do know that when you're first able to use electric nodes, I know it works in that point. Later on in the game, my pal by HDC had a little trouble with it later on in the game. So it's just one of those particular values that probably more opcodes come into play later. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at that later, but for right now, I wanted to get a stealth out. Nobody else really has a stealth except for STN on his, and I wanted to show you how you can find stealth for yourself. So I got that out to you. So come join us over at the Cheat the Game Facebook page that I showed you earlier. I'll have all the links down in the description. Ton of game hackers hang out there. Great game hackers, a lot better than I am, hang out there, and they're more than happy to help you. You get to meet them all, and they can help you with any questions that you may have. I can help you on YouTube, but I can rarely get to them. I try to get to as many as I can, but there's just too many for me to handle sometimes, and it's better to go over there and ask your questions. You can get help a lot quicker. So I apologize about that. Also, come join my friends over at GuidedHacking.com. That's GuidedHacking.com. They go over C++, C#, IDA Pro. They go well from beginner to advanced. All kind of levels of game hacking there, even into the reverse engineering. Great bunch of guys there. They really know their stuff. I learn from there all the time. I love that group. Great bunch of people. So go over there and tell them Chris Fate from Cheat the Game said hello, my buddy Break. Alright, guys, I'm out of here. You all take care. Keep on hacking. Most importantly, please enjoy yourself. That's really what it's all about. You cheat the game, fellas, because believe me, it doesn't mind cheating you. Take care now.